I hope you're having an amazing day. My name is Colin, and in this video we're going to have a look at the Affyn token. Much requested, quite impressive launch. What are the conditions right now? Should we buy, should we sell? In my opinion, what are we going to do? So let me play the trailer for anybody who hasn't seen it before. It's about a minute while I talk about my vision for Affyn. So Affyn has been holding up really well. It's sitting at around 28.7 cents right now. IDO price at about 13 cents, I believe. Private sale at 8 cents. So for a project that launched in what I would phrase as terrible market conditions, it has been holding up extremely well. One of the reasons for this, I think, is the linear daily vesting that it has used instead of the monthly vesting. Doing this will result in obviously significantly less dumps and more even out selling pressure, buying pressure, that is. Overall, when we would look at the token, obviously it has gone down in value. But when we make it relative to all the other tokens in the market, Affyn as a new token has been holding up extremely well. There are two main points I want to stress in this video on why I am extremely bullish for the long-term outcome of the Affyn project, which also means that I'm not going to sell my tokens, right? The daily vesting as of right now that is dripping in. I'm not going to some hot girls from some deep house mixes. Very nice. We're not going to dump the tokens, right? So let's have a look at the actual PooCoin chart. So I'll put the PooCoin chart at 30 minutes to have a good overview since the launch time. Let's make it a little bit bigger. There we go. So the launch occurred on the 29th of January. I want to make this example relative to Bitcoin, actually, because I think that is most interesting. So we have to look at about the last 3 months, and then I'm going to pull it in all the way until the 29th of January, which is right about here. Right, so on the 29th, Bitcoin was about 37K. After that, it took a little bit of a rally up. So here we go, 37K, right, ish. So the actual launch of the Affyn token was quite good, right? We were looking at the initial launch pump because the claim happened a little bit later after the actual launch. So then it dropped down, but it was sitting at that point at about, let's say, 70 cents. Which from the IDO is 5x IDO price, which is extremely good for a launch in those market conditions. It then, however, made a significant rally. So this rally, 31st to the 1st, right, 31st to the 1st, has not anything to do with the Bitcoin rally, right? So Bitcoin did go up a little bit here, so 37 to 38, but the significant gains were made here from basically the 3rd to the 7th. In that time frame, the 3rd to the 7th was actually right here when Affyn saw a linear downward trend, right? So there were a lot of interested parties, and it pushed the price up basically to almost $2 at the all-time high, if we do not consider this price to be the all-time high, because it was basically the launch pump. Then it went down a little bit, then it went up a little bit again, but still holding extremely strong. Obviously, we can see here the linear downward trend, right? Then there was a push up again on the 8th of February, where we look at the 8th of February. For Bitcoin, that specific day, nothing really interesting happened, right? There were some ups, there were some downs, but it was around 44K, right? Affyn experienced a little bit of a pump here to about $1.10. And as of then has seen a linear decline. If we zoom in, we can see that it's quite significant. However, we can also see that Bitcoin as of that time has been quite volatile, right? So obviously the current market conditions, I would assume, my opinion, that most investors claim these tokens right now just to dump them, just to put the money in stables instead of riding it out. I'm definitely, so I think I did do one claim for Affyn, and I did sell that claim, but I sold it quite a while ago, just to get my initial. So I did really well on the actual launch, right? So I did sell really high, and I think I needed like something like 7 or 8% to get my initial back. So I just focused on getting my initial back, and everything I have right now, which is a fuck ton of tokens, is all profit, right? That's also why, in my opinion, I don't have any reason to sell it at this point, because it's all profit anyway. And I am a super bullish on Affyn in the long term. So do take into consideration when you look at CoinMarketCap, it was not loaded in until the 29th. So it did not include the actual launch, and it was a little bit messed up for about a week here. So do ignore that when there was no data pulled. And then we experienced the linear downward trend. Right now, definitely the last month, let's say the last 7 days, it has been going down, but there's obviously a large amount of market volatility. I think to make any probability on where this might go, I think as of this moment, Affyn will follow the flow of Bitcoin. The market cap is really low, fully diluted, only 280 mil. I don't know the actual circulating supply. Maybe we can check CoinGecko. I think it had a little bit better up-to-date information on Affyn, if it's available at all. Oh, CoinGecko's overcapacity. What does that even mean? There we go. So no, they don't have that confirmed either. They do have a proper working chart, as you can see. So for them, it does show properly. But still holding strong at about 2.4x, 2.2x IDO price. And with the current market conditions, that is very interesting. I think what's important to consider is this volume, right? The volume is really low. The volume has been down to 33%, so it was about 500,000. Right now it's less, and that has to do with one of the bigger opportunities. At the moment, almost all the volume is being traded on the QuickSwap DEX. So because Affyn is on the Polygon blockchain, they use QuickSwap, but they have not connected any centralized exchanges yet. So the volume is really low, right? I assume they do things in line with their roadmap for a specific reason, right? So we can definitely see that as of the last 2 days, there has been a little bit of a stabilization going on. But I think when the next bull run occurs, right, in a bearish market, this might go back to IDO price, right? So would I recommend myself and or anyone, according to my opinion, to jump on this right now? No. I think below 30 cents is what I mentioned in my first video would be a good entry if the market conditions were different. The market conditions are not different. The market conditions are crap right now. So I'm not going to make an additional entry. However, if it does go near IDO price, I will reconsider this. Basically, what occurs is if Bitcoin drops, so it's climbing a little bit, back to 39K right now, but if it would drop, let's say to 30K, I see Affyn going to or below IDO price. If that occurs, then yes, it might be an interesting opportunity, because I do believe that 10x in the next bull run is definitely possible for Affyn. The foundation is strong. Comes down to 2 points, basically. The 2 points are actually being shown on the website. So coming in 2022, there is a direct utility for the Affyn token. First of all, we get the bodies. Each body is a non-fungible token with its own attributes and properties. Attributes of the bodies can improve over time, while properties give certain advantages and disadvantages over other bodies. Bodies can be trained to participate in quests, raids, PvP, user-created activities, and assigned to work. They can also be collected as a family. So these are like your little Affyn Pokemon style things. Purchasable only with the Fin token. Nexus Land. Each land is a non-fungible token, again NFT, which is tradable and purchasable among users. Owners have full control over the land and develop to earn income, build structures, lease to other players, and host campaigns. Again, purchasable only with the Affyn token. So definitely the Fin tokens have a double direct utility this year, coming in 2022. So whether the market is bearish or bullish, these will no matter what, especially the land sale, I think. Well, obviously the buddies are obviously a very strong component of the game as well. So I'm more a fan of the land. I'm not going to play the game, but on both sides of the equation, I think this will result in big pumps in the price. So now it's up for you to decide, do you want to invest long-term or short-term into Affyn? If short-term, then wait for these things to be somewhat announced, buy in, and then sell one day before the Nexus Land, or 1 hour before the sale opens, the price will be at the highest point. Right, so that definitely be beneficial if you do not want to access these, but just want to do a day trade, a little swing trade action right there. However, if you are more bullish in the long term, then you might consider these two elements to basically ride the Affyn wave back to potentially $1.10, right? Maybe even $1.80 when we look at the chart, $1.80, $2. But a Metaverse style game, as Affyn actually is, right? The trailer, what the team presented so far, they're taking it easy, they're taking things step by step, they're not overhyped. It's quite serious. Everything is looking quite good at the moment. It's one of the better projects that I have covered this year, right? I was quite impressed by the trailer because it really brings the mass adoption into play. So these two things to be executed, and then obviously the real world utility is definitely very important, but I do have the overview lined up of how that would work, right? So basically they're executing these three things right now, and then these three things would come thereafter. But yeah, definitely bullish. So that's basically my overview. If I would predict the price, I would say if Bitcoin goes to 30K, Affyn will go below IDO price. If Bitcoin recovers and we would end up in a new bullish market, Affyn will do really well in that bullish market, because I think it's quite unique. It has a good target market and a very, very strong team that apparently understands what they're doing. That's what I've seen so far. So definitely bullish on Affyn in the long term. I'm not going to buy more right now, but I might consider it in the future. Let me know what you think about Affyn in the comments down below, and I'll be sure to have a look. Are you bullish or are you bearish? Are you going to dump all your tokens? Will you participate in the NFT sale? That is also very important for me to know, because in that case, if most of you guys will, I will cover it in a separate video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.